I appreciate the efforts by the MOM to address PMET concerns. And that said, I would like to clarify if Minister Teo believes that simply slowing down the rate of EP and S-Pass holders is sufficient to ensure that local PMETs do not get displaced. I say this in part because this strategy, while it's a very blunt strategy, and for starters, we need to take into account base effects. So let me explain. Even if the rate of issuance has slowed, as Minister Teo has shared, it's misleading to actually compare the two. So for instance, a 20% increase from 50 people, for example, is 10 people, but a 10% increase from 200 people is in fact an increase of 20 people, which is larger in absolute terms. Now, I understand that 35,000 people is larger than 9,000, but the point is that the slowdown in the rate of EP and S-Pass issuance is less dramatic than Minister Teo claims. Moreover, we should be aware that of the effect of diminishing returns, by which I mean many PMETs may already have secured foreign talent, and many PMET positions may already have been secured by foreign talent. And so it's no surprise that the number that is now required actually goes down.
What does it take to deliver and bring about these good outcomes for Singaporeans? And then we ask ourselves, within the options that are available to us as a tiny red dot, how can we mitigate the difficulties, the shortcomings, and the worries that people have, legitimate worries that people have about a very sizable foreign workforce? We are aligned in that regard. I don't think that the destination that we want to head towards is a different one. But we have to ask ourselves, looking at the opportunities as well as the constraints we have as a tiny city-state, which Mr. Leong Man Wai reminds us we are a tiny city-state. We're not a tiny city. And a tiny city-state has got its opportunities, but it also has its constraints. Within those constraints, what is the best way to help Singaporeans move forward? That has to be the answer, and not some predetermined ideas about what you bring it down to. Yeah. Supposing we can bring it down to zero or even negative, which is what has happened. The first 7 months of this year, I reported to members that the first 7 months of this year, total number of EP and S-Pass holders have gone down by 22,000. That's what it is. Suppose we can bring it down to a different number and so on, but at the same time, the job opportunities for Singaporeans have shrunk. Your children, my children one day coming to us and say, Mom, Dad, sorry, can't find a decent job in Singapore anymore. And they really no longer have that opportunity of the 6 in 10 jobs that we talked about, which many countries have found themselves in that sort of a situation. Is that going to be better for us? Well, we'll have to think very hard about whether the answer is yes. Thank you.